For over 20 years, bringing you extraordinary entertainment. This is Extraordinary Entertainment. This is the Extraordinary Network. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, with your hosts, Chris, Rachàd, Jeremy, Summer, and Najee. This is Extraordinary Unplugged.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Extraordinary Unplugged. I am Christopher S. Walker.
I'm Rachàd West.
I'm Jeremy Scott.
Feeling on this 25th of February, Black History Month. This is Black History Month, y'all. Hope
What's
y'all.
going on, Style by Stevie? What's up, Stevie?
Hey, what's going on?
Yes.
How y'all feeling?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. You know, it's another day in this shit show.
Feeling good, feeling great. I look good. Don't hate.
I thought you were about to sing the song. Like, yeah, I forgot how it goes.
You know what? Jeremy? It's like you at a piano, and I love it. It's definitely giving piano.
With the blouse reflection.
Yeah.
That's all you at least.
It's just a setup.
I love it. Anything been going on with you guys' week?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Well, I help my friend move, and I don't do that. I pay for movers, and I always pay for movers. Like ever since I've been grown. But I think he anticipated it was just a little less work than it actually was. We spent the entire day doing it. Like we were moving from like morning to evening. And I was so like irritated, but I love my friend. So I was there to help. And that ain't even my ministry. But I was like, we in the thick of things now. What can I do? And we had to get it done. And we were helping someone in the meantime. So it just was hard. I'm so tired.
I have an ex. I don't like saying ex because we still maintain a.
What's going on, Rachel?
Hey, Rachel, hi cousin.
Hey.
But anyway, what's funny is he's like me. We don't do physical labor. We feel like those days are behind us. So I understand Jeremy. But it was one time I was moving to a 2-bedroom condo in Sandy Springs. Hated it. But anyway, I said, man, I don't want to buy all new stuff. This man found me 2 guys at a Home Depot, and all they wanted was money for cocaine.
What?
And they moved my 2 bedrooms, did everything. I drove the truck. I just rented the U-Haul, and they did everything. Of course, I paid them more because I was like, I mean, I feel like $25 for 2 people is just ridiculous, and I'm not a slave.
How you know what they wanted it for?
They told me because I asked them like, "What do you?" They said, "Look, we just try to get high." And I was like, "Okay."
My God.
But I appreciate the honesty because let me tell you, you get more when you're honest. You're like,
Lie to me, because lie to me.
because I feel like I respect it more because I can understand the need of a drink or need of drugs. And what I mean by that, working in global health and working in substance use, I understand it. I didn't always understand it, and I used to always be like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." But now I be like, "What you need? Go ahead and get your fix," because there's a lot of people who need to stay functioning to survive, and unless they get the proper detox and things like that, sometimes when you're coming off your high, things like that, you can die. I've seen it happen at Grady. I've seen them. Now they're not gonna give you drugs at Grady, but they will give you alcohol. Like they literally wrote a prescription. The doctor
Now
said,
that is very interesting. Isn't that kind of backwards though? They're not gonna give you no drugs, but they give
well,
you alcohol.
them tremors and all that stuff. That stuff is bad. Your body goes through a lot when it starts going through withdrawal. Withdrawal is bad. Because once your body, because this is a great machine that God created. Once it becomes dependent on any type of substance, even love is a substance, sex is a substance. It's just dependent on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Once it can go through withdrawal and it can actually, mess. People can go bonkers. Heart can stop, things like that. Just a lot of craziness that can happen.
That's true.
But I really, now would I do this regularly? No, because I also provided some steps for them to go into some self help. It's not like I say, here's the money. I say, really, this is things you should, because everybody should be aware of ways to get out of whatever rut they're in.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I want to say this to our viewers too. For us, our tardiness, we had a technical issue before we started the show, but here we are. Also, too, while you at it, please make sure you like, share, follow, and definitely please get your friends, your family, everybody, tell them to tune in to Extraordinary Unplugged. We have another great show this evening for you guys, and we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it since we did come to you guys
Yes.
late. So let's go ahead
Jump,
and
jump,
jump
jump
into
to it.
tonight's show. Roll it, Rachàd.
You know what's crazy
Yes,
is
sir.
I just realized I have to go back to the emails.
Oh yeah, to the original. Well, while he's doing that, we want to make sure that we extend our gratitude to Joanne Reed, since she's her last telecast was last night. MSNBC, I will not be supporting you anymore, because you're starting to end a lot of our for our people. Not only was Joy Reid ended as well, but it was a few others that were also ended as well too. So we want to make sure that we pay our respect to Joy Reid and thank her for continuously at being real with us with the news instead of giving us fake news or giving us what the network wanted to give us. So we want to make sure that we do that as well. Anybody else want to say anything on Joy Reid?
I just want to say, she's been doing a thing. Shout out to her for working hard. She would not be lost because she's gonna go to social media. They say follow her on all social media platforms because she's not done. This is an incredible woman, incredible journalist. She has brought a lot of untold stories to us, especially during last year when there was a lot going on and a lot of confusion, even up into this year. Um, so I am. Rachel says she'll watch Rachel Maddow. Even
Yeah,
Rachel had to issue a statement and during her live show,
yeah, it's
Yeah, I
Rachel
love
Maddow.
how Rachel stood up for her.
which it came on afterwards. And
Mhm.
like I keep telling a lot of people, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we are not always aware of. And the
Yep,
reason I posted, for those who follow me on social media, the reason why I posted Comcast is behind MSNBC. And there's rumors that other people, this is
that's
allegedly,
right, Stevie.
other people are being let go as well, and they're all of color.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. As other people
Mhm.
that are being let go that are of color, and one of them actually is part of LGBTQ plus community as well, which that's just so unfortunate. This new president of MSNBC, she is definitely making way for the conservatives. She said that she is trying to be all inclusive for conservatives as well, but to me, I just feel like you're trying to do what's best for the conservative party, which is just truly unfortunate.
And NBC Universal, and this is why I'm mentioning them, and they also own Bravo and some other networks. I'm not saying boycott everybody, but definitely MSNBC because we don't want everybody to be affected. But NBC Universal is owned by Comcast. Comcast is the same company that fought against Byron Allen, and
Hmm.
which led to the overturning and removal of affirmative action. So there was a Supreme Court
Oh,
case.
Stevie just said something too, Rashad.
Yeah,
It was revealed today that he is going to handpick who he wants to be part of the White House press.
which is kind of, and the thing is, everything's getting silly, and just really is they're just really trying to see what they can get away with. They're gonna flood
I
the
believe so, Rachel.
yeah.
Somebody said on social media, they said, I wish somebody would just do it. And somebody commented under that and they said, I know, how do we all know exactly what you mean? And I mean, just the the hu- the human American. Y'all hear this echo?
No,
The
You hear
human
echo?
American context right now that we're having without even speaking words is so
yeah,
poignant because everybody know what that meant.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's one of
Exactly, Stevie.
those things that's really, again, you have to read between the lines. But I have never been in this headspace. You know what I'm saying? Where I could just say, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, but
Trust me, I totally understand. But we definitely want, like I said, we wanted to make sure that we acknowledged her for her contributions as well. You mean another Luigi? I've been thinking it, child. When them drones was flying, he was terrified as hell.
Hmm.
where Mario at? Princess
Baby,
Toad,
that Simpson episode, the Simpsons always been on it. That is true.
you know. But
That is true.
let's get into the topics.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this evening's
So
topics. What we got, Rashad?
the first topic we got Porsha Williams' ex Simon G. Y'all know I struggle with that last name. Detained by ICE amid mass deportations. We're gonna get into that. Allegedly, somebody called. Then we got 50 Cent ruthlessly goes after Big Meech money by sharing GoFundMe page for former crime boss. Then we got we Americans are starting to resist the Trump administration across the country. That's an opportunity really for all of you all to kind of chime in. All of our viewers, please chime in. Tell us how you feeling. Tell us what you're doing. We also want to talk about this Friday, February 28th as well. Uh,
Yes.
and then we got our final topic: entire Alabama Police Department put on leave after grand jury recommends its abolition, which is actually really huge.
Yeah, it's a
That's
big one. Definitely a big one.
It's pretty huge. So, but let's get into it. We got first topic: Porsche Williams' ex Simon G. detained by ICE amid mass deportations. As y'all know, ICE don't play. Um, ICE is out here doing a lot. And I got a little sidebar conversation about that too, regarding the
Right.
pizza place where the manager got got fired for where I ain't gonna work at of all places at Little Caesars and try to threaten people. Like anyway, but anyway, let's get into Simon G. And Portia Williams. They say um, Portia called. But I believe he was always on radar.
Oh, let me tell you this though, Rashad. And then we're gonna show what she had stated on I believe it was Instagram. She said, "It's disheartening to see my estranged husband make choices that have led to this outcome. At this moment, my priority is moving forward with my family." So, what I want to state with this, and it's so interesting because I had to do my own research as well on this.
Uh-huh.
So, they are supposed to be going to, I believe, divorce court soon.
Uh-huh.
And so, what she did allegedly, which is still it's still out there, very, very alleged, is that she feels by making this move, he's not going to be able to represent himself in court, which basically will hand her over the right of winning the divorce court. So basically, what she failed to realize is his attorney still can be there in place of him. So because she's thinking that it's gonna go in her favor to where she can still get the house. that's what this really is all about. This Shanae just said this not his first time being deported though.
Well, I mean, that's the truth. Our laws are so interesting because I saw this thing that just went viral. There was this Mexican man who was deported, and
Hmm.
he was back in America the next day. Like
What?
he was just back, like he never left. And he was like, "I can't be deported this week. I have to go to work." And the context was just so funny. But I think you know how I felt about this Porsha and Simon thing for the longest. I think the deal just went bad. Something went wrong in the deal,
Hmm.
and they have to, now they have to adjust because they both thought it was going to work out. And but the fact that he was deported or detained for deportation in this, I mean, it's disheartening. To see it played out in this way is really
Hmm.
disheartening. But I know that he could move back to Africa. Maybe he can join Young African and Famous.
Young,
Was it Young Rich and African?
young, is he young? I don't think it don't sound like he was young because
I
he.
don't think he young, but a lot of them fucking old. I mean, a lot of them is sleeping with some old man. So
You know what? It's interesting. Like I'm glad you gave a little backstory. He's literally, which I'm not against proper, documentation. I'm not against that. People should, but it has to be an easier way for people to be here. And typically when you're here on visa and you're sponsored by either a citizen or a company, you know, that company is held accountable for you. I'm trying to figure out who was supposed to be held accountable to him back in the '80s when he overstayed his visa twice. So I'm like, how it's very easy to come into this country
Hmm.
if it depends on how you do it. Even if you come illegally, it's very easy to come.
Right.
So I'm not good. I'm not against like um, deportations or getting people in order. It's how we're doing it that's the problem because there's a tip line where you can just really call on people. I've had, like I mentioned in previous shows, I've had two people. They were in New York, friends of mine who have been detained by ICE, and they clearly been in the United States longer than I have because they're older than me. And I'm like, it's just at this point, if anyone could just call and like, I've called for FBI investigations, and nothing has happened against people who should be locked up. That's all I'm gonna say. But for me to just go ahead and just say, hey, I don't think this person is legal or they got their papers. That means anyone that's not European complexion is going to get called on. Any of one of us, and it's one thing I'm glad that Apple and Google have is that I can have documents on me at all time if I forget my wallet and things like that. Even though they still can detain you because the law states you're supposed to have a physical copy on your person at all times. But I think it's getting to a point now where anyone can call, and but however, if you're gonna be here and you're not here, complete, I feel like it's very important you gotta keep a low profile. That means no illegal activity of any kind.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
my little sidebar, what I was gonna say is there was here in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta,
Hmm.
there was a Little Caesars manager who hand wrote a letter that says if you are loitering or doing anything illegal activity in this business, we will call ICE. Now, Little Caesars is about their life. I tell people all the time, Little Caesars, the pizza ain't good to me, but the CEO who passed away in the last couple of years literally paid Rosa Parks rent like since like the '60s. She had free rent for the rest of her remaining life after the civil rights movement. The founder and CEO of Little Caesars literally paid Rosa Parks rent until she died. So
Wow.
told her that she should not have to have. And this is a man who's not black. I believe he was Italian, but just somebody who said that she was wrongfully done, and I feel like we owe her something, and that's reparations as well. By the way, tell people there's
Yes.
ways we can get reparations. We don't want all $1 million. You can give us tax free. There's ways you can do it. We don't all have to pay taxes. I've done it. I've seen the math. You can give us tax free. You give us a home, and but they say the best way really to give a stimulus to this country is to give us reparations. But we're not here nor there. But anyway, I just wanted to say, like, but anyway, this guy, he is now fired because I knew he was going to get fired by how Little Caesars actually responded to that man. I just want to bring it up. The man got fired. I said, this man, no, he going to get fired. And then try to double down on top of, so, well, I'll remove the ice from the sign. And
Not the pizza tastes like cardboard.
I mean, it does. Like, I like, even when it was $5, it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Pan.
I have to say, I went to Publix last night, like the one close to my new house.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Lou.
It was like a Walking Dead scene. It was so many people in front. I have never seen a Publix like that. Like inside of it felt like Publix, but outside felt like a corner store.
Mm.
Outside felt like a Family Dollar.
Oh,
It
Oh
was like,
wow.
I mean, just some of the craziest things
what
I've ever
part of
seen.
town is this again? This is
This is Midtown Publix,
the one on. Never mind. Enough said.
but
Definitely.
I didn't even know that girl existed until now, and just wow. I can't
Right.
believe Publix allowed them to carry on like that.
Yeah, money though in that location. That's one of the top locations because it's in the heart of downtown and where it's centrally located. It's literally like in all the neighborhoods that meet up. From Punch, and there's a lot of people who won't go to Kroger, murder Kroger, formerly murder Kroger, but
Why everybody call it the Murder Kroger?
no one ever got murdered inside Kroger, but there have been murders in the parking lot.
It's the parking lot for me.
Well, you know I'm from Detroit. I just walked in. I got what I'm gonna get what I need. But it's just like, why did I have to endure that?
But the real truth behind it is, they used to call it murder Ponzi because there was a lot of like I tell a lot of people, Atlanta is what you see now ain't what it was. So don't get too been out of shape when there's a dead body or your car goes missing and things like that. This all of Atlanta, all the way from Alpharetta, all the way as far south as Hampton. It's all hood. I tell people all this time, Atlanta's hood. Just
Me too, Shanae.
just try not to be a victim. Now I tell people I just try not to be a victim.
That's me too, Shanae. But I want to mention. I want to.
I've fallen so out of love with Kroger after hearing what they did during the pandemic and what they continue to do. Like, we had such an opportunity to take care of each other as humans,
Hmm.
and they used it to be greedy. And the fall of every great human society,
Hmm.
the
Mhm.
number one thing was greed.
Yeah,
That's why these societies fail. Egypt, Greece, Mesopotamia, like
It's just unfortunate. We don't learn from history. History repeats itself constantly,
yeah.
and that's what constantly keeps happening. Until we actually learn from our past mistakes, we're going to continue going through the same mistakes over and over and over again.
hmm
But I will say
It's
about
just
Kroger,
unfortunate.
I just want to say this, and I do defend Kroger a lot just because I'm a retiree.
Hmm.
I tell people they were wrong, but they were the only company that admitted it. They
Hmm.
yeah, we did. We chose, and they really, literally, randomly chose products each week to what they were going to raise the prices on, starting, eggs and things like that. But they were the only company that doesn't make them right.
Hmm.
But I do like accountability. I mean, if you're going to be on the BS, be on the BS and own it, and then try to move forward. But what I
Right.
didn't like is when that merger between them and Albertsons was one of the biggest mergers that would have benefited black people throughout the entire country. They literally was going to go to black farmers, black businesses, and increase how many. Well, they said minority, but they really were going to black farmers, and the reason I know a lot. I have family members who are black farmers here in Georgia, so they were going to directly be benefited. The government chose, the FTC chose not to allow the merger. They got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Prices went up. Prices was about to go down because they were the only company. Kroger still was going to do it, but it's just going to take longer. But they were trying to reach the people, in these food deserts. There's like majority of Atlanta is a food desert. What that means that per capita is not enough food to go around to feed to feed everybody. Uh,
Right.
so that's just in a nutshell. There's more to it than that. But
Look, I want to reel this back in for a second though on
oh
this
yeah,
on this on
we were
this
talking
subject
about
though.
Simon
Oh
Guobadia.
no 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 no. So I'm gonna reel us in on this one because the thing about it is with this is that money talks. Simon has a lot of money. So I feel in some type of ways in this country, especially they don't mind taking the money. So I feel like in this situation that they may let him off. Just because of him having the amount of money that whatever money that he's gonna be talking about to the country, I'm pretty sure they're gonna take it. Um, so I just feel like that he won't be deported. In a way, if
Hmm.
he does, if he's let off, I'd be surprised. But if he's sent and he's deported, I wouldn't be surprised because of the nature of the administration that we have in the current White House right now. But I do foresee something's going to come out of this. I don't know if Portia is going to be lucky enough to for this to happen the way that she wants it to happen, to where she can possibly get this house. But the thing about it is, with this whole situation is, if I'm not mistaken, in their prenup, it stated that if they both somehow or some way they're not supposed to both be able to live in the house together, or somebody's not going to be able to get the house because from my understanding is inside of this court case that's going to be happening, she's going to end up losing the house anyway. So
Now, which home is it? Is it the home in the Caribbean or the home?
the home that's here, this home that's in Buckhead.
So typically, uh, in the state of Georgia, uh,
Hmm.
there's an equal division of assets when you're married.
Hmm.
By Georgia law, when you divorce, you're forced to sell the house and split the money. No one, and that's just how Georgia just typically that's how it's done. I think unless kids are involved.
Right.
But that's typically how it's equal. What they call an equal division of the assets. It's because
That's
Georgia,
exactly what it is.
uh,
That's what's going to happen. I believe that's what I read. That's going to happen in the courts. That's what's going to happen. They're going to have to sell off the house anyway.
yeah. But I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing in question, though, right? Am I right, Chris? That's the only
Yes.
thing they acquired after the nuptials.
Yep. That's it.
Well, in the U.S., I think they had another home. I think there is a home in the Caribbean somewhere.
You might be right. There
Uh,
probably is, but I know this is the one I know that's here in Georgia. I do know that for a fact because she still wants to continuously film Real Housewives from that home. And this is to me, I just feel like it's the bigger picture of it. To me, it's all about the timing. This is still going on while they're filming Housewives, so it's all about story, And it's sad that he had to be.
main
It's sad.
example.
It's just so unfortunate. It's
We're not
so
laughing at
unfortunate,
him. It's just situational.
right?
It's crazy though. And this ICE thing, it affects a lot of people. But now that I think about it, you're
Hmm.
right because he might not go anywhere because a lot of these people are just being detained. Ain't nobody really got kicked out.
Yeah, a lot of people are still in the concentration camps.
Yeah, so a lot of them, and then some have been released back into the USA.
Right.
Go ahead, Jeremy. What you got going
I'm trying to trigger the motion sensor lights.
on?
Yeah, I'm over the give Portia her money, Simon, so she can start being quiet again.
and that's and that's all you gotta say as you drink your drink.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that point too, Jeremy. I mean, at this point, this story has gone on long enough. I think we've talked about this story for the past 2, 3 years now. This has been one of the most longest divorces I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, okay.
And here we are, like we're still dealing with this. So, Portia, it's sad that you had to use this for a storyline. Simon, unfortunately, you just had to be, collateral damage. But again, I say this: please just get it together.
Here's the
Get it
storyline.
together.
Let's wrap all these. This marriage medicine storyline. They gotta. Ooh, I'm glad Porsha just. I'm not Porsha. Phaedra was like, "Child, I'm just gone. I don't need y'all." And that's just a segue into going back to Housewives of Atlanta.
Right,
She's like, "I don't need this. I don't need y'all. I don't need friends like y'all." I said, "So why are you here?"
right.
It's like- but I get it. I'm not mad. Phaedra is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Phaedra is one of mine too. I saw that
My
clip.
number one favorite housewife.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that, and I still say that Phaedra, you wasted your time going to Married to Medicine. I would have never went. I understand that you needed a check, and it was an opener for you to be able to go back to Housewives, but I would have did.
I'm assuming she's supposed to be now dating that guy. But although she
What's
said
going on, Mario?
what's up, Mario? She said she'll never be married again. Yeah, but like, yeah, you had enough of marriages. Just find a.
Yeah, yeah, she's definitely had enough of that. We're gonna go into our next our next topic, which is another doozy of a topic. You
Right.
have 50 Cent and Big Meech.
Anyway, just remind you guys, 50 Cent ruthlessly goes after Big Meech's money by sharing GoFundMe page for former crime boss. 50
What's
Cent,
going on, Travis?
50 Cent need to, in my mind, I feel like he's in too many people's business.
Yeah,
I feel like like he just came for Rick Ross too today. So I'm like, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, and I feel like you're supposed to be building a studio. You're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be growing your own business. Why are you in somebody else's?
Well,
I
somebody
still for the
said
life of me.
every day I see why 50 Cent was shot 9 times.
So
Every day we get to know him more, we see why somebody shot the man 9 times.
but he had
And
a praying grandmother. He had a
I can
praying
see
grandmother.
Najee is out this week. He'll be back next week. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that, Jeremy, as well. Like, it just doesn't make sense. This man is caught up in so many different things, and it's like, why? And here's some of the posts right here. Here's one I believe that he had commented on the GoFundMe. I know you guys probably can't see that because it's very small,
It
but
is very small, but I think I can.
um,
Let's see.
and I'm not gonna try to break my eyes to see it, but it just lets you know that he's caught up in a bunch of this or whatnot. I
So
think there's another one that we can actually read. Hold on, just
I
bear
can
with me.
read. I can read that one. If you
Oh,
go,
you can
I
read
can read.
the one I just showed.
Look at my
Okay, let me go
45-year old eyes. But it says, this is actually his actual post when he posted this $10,000 help Big Meech pay his bills. It said help Big Meech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb. That's one of P's crib. Shout out to quality control. Um, and what it
why it's
looks
so
like,
expensive.
that's what I figure out. Like, but that's the post, and and then uh, and then it said what this is Darren Steele posted after this said what 50 doing to Meech is what Kendrick been doing to Drake. So, and I hate this word diabolical. Hocus 45th says, nah, this is diabolical. That's all. And then I'm trying to read all. It's tattoos by low key says 50 Cent cares 0%, and and I get that, but when you like supposed to ignore, I feel like this is childish, and I don't compare this to Kendrick Lamar and
right.
Drake. The reason why I don't is because it's some deep stuff Drake was doing against Kendrick. Like Kendrick did it the grown up way, while Drake was playing games.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like even when it goes back to when Drake bought all the this was stupid. Drake bought all of the tickets for one of Kendrick Lamar's shows. Bought all that so nobody could buy any tickets. So since he paid for the tickets, Kendrick just made it a free concert. I was like, you're doing silly stuff that really doesn't make sense. And I'm like, you can always tell when the adult is in the room. I always tell
Yes.
people that. You can always buy a response, and it's okay to play around on social media. Don't get me wrong. This is entertainment. This is what we do. Oh, probably. Shanae says, I think 50 Cent thinks Meech owes him. That's what it comes off,
Yeah.
And to be honest, they all mixed up in a lot of things, so it probably something like that. Everybody owe everybody. It's kind of
It's
one.
just
You got another post?
yeah, it's just all unfortunate. What did Shanae say? She said, "Please don't talk about Aubrey Graham. Thank you."
Shanae, I got some bad news.
You better talk about it. Go ahead.
I can't stand Drake. Corny. I feel like he's what AI would produce if it told like some AI engine to produce a rapper with very limited information.
Yeah.
Um, I just honestly don't see it for the talent, for the look. I'm just not a fan. And
Mm-mm.
then Kendrick Lamar did not kill Drake. Pusha T did it years ago.
Oh,
Um, so at this point, they just poking the carcass.
Pretty much.
well,
What
well,
did
well.
Nobody
Shanae
has
say?
given me grace for Beyonce. I get hell every day. I get hell every day. Every day I got to stand by that woman.
Every day. I
Not
took
every day. Not every day, Jeremy.
I took
Every day somebody talk bad about Beyonce. It's so bad.
Mhm. A lot of it isn't warranted, and I'll give you that. A lot of it isn't warranted. But don't get me started.
Mm-mm.
I already
It's
see
just
the.
so unfortunate. Here's the I think here's the one other one I was trying to show you guys. Now this one, because I know everybody want to be able to see the bottom what it says, but it says 50 Cent said, help Big Screech pay his 30,000 a month Airbnb. That's one of P's crib. Shout out to quality control at at Brands. What's this? Brandson Organic or something like that.
I don't know.
Like he always trolling people, man.
Let the record show Big Meech is a Detroit legend, and 50 Cent definitely don't want to play with this man.
Right. See, but like you said, Jeremy, it's like he's always asking for trouble. It's like 50 Cent just he tries to see if he can get away with it with anybody. Honestly, he really does. He
Right.
tries to see how far he can go, and just how much he can really get away with people. And when somebody actually, you got to be careful about who you troll and how you come off to bullying people because you're gonna bully the wrong person one day,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's just gonna be it for you.
I agree.
Every day we get more and more insight about why this man got
Just like
lit
what
up.
Shanae just said too, about what you just said, Jerry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not poke again, not poke fun, but when you are always not minding your business, that's when you get in trouble. I tell people all the time, I told somebody the other day, this was yesterday, and I'll be very truthful and honest, and I tell people a lot of things that people say are opinions. Most of the things that I say are facts. We only have enough energy for us, and maybe our children, our siblings, extended family, close friends. When you always in people business that ain't got nothing to do with you, that's just like Shanae and and Jeremy said. We understand the people who mind their business. They age well.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
know the sad part about 50 Cent is too, he has enough money to disappear into the abyss.
right.
He
Like
does.
he has enough money to mind his business and live a private life. He is actively choosing negativity and violence. But to be completely fair, I see through this.
Yeah.
Every time this man is putting a show out, it's some kind of controversy, it's some kind of like, oh, this is happening, some kind of negativity. Think about it when him and Empire were going at it. They drum up some kind of
Hmm.
beef and controversy and they use it as a form of promotion. And it's just getting tired.
Are you
It's
talking
been
about
done
power?
before.
You talking about
Please.
power?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he was trying to. Power wasn't getting the view. the ratings. So he did, and at the time, Empire was, and he tried to compare both shows, and I was like, these are not the same shows.
Mm-hmm.
But he tried to draw parallels. So you're right, but I will say, just like Kanye and other people out there, it's that clickbait. It's that pay per click that people get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your name to trend. You can get a good check. That's why a lot of people always doing something. That's why, to be honest, what's her name? That girl that wanted to be a rapper, but nobody paid her any attention. It's always an argument with people. It start with an A, I think.
Who you talking about?
Her name start with A. I want to say. Shanae, help me out. She always got an issue with another celebrity or a gay person.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Shekinah?
No, her name start with an A.
Yeah, that's a good one. You got me stumped on that one because I was going to say I was thinking that of that too, Jeremy.
Azalea Banks?
Yeah, that's a. Thank you, Jeremy. Xavier Banks. I always got into it with someone. Like I was like, and cause that's how she makes money. Just like the girl my neck my back girl. You can tell I chew people out when I don't know you. Like when I don't think about you, you just go from my brain. But those two,
Shanae said Asian dog, not
her
Asian
too,
dog.
her too. But she's not as bad as Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks will start with a child, like just mad at the world. Yeah, Azalea Banks. But you could if you really wanted to make money, and I'm telling you, this is why Kanye do it. This is why a lot of people just post random pictures. It's not because they really feel this way or really care about a
Hmm.
certain issue. The point is to go viral so you can get a check. So if you have, and the thing is, you don't just get a check just because you go viral. You literally have to sign a contract with the internet. Just like when we search for things, I tell people all the time, I can pick your phone up and search for something and go to my phone and search for the same thing. The same choices will not come up because each device, each company has a contract with Google. That's why Google in court now because nobody can get in because everybody got a contract. And literally, Apple was like, "What do you want us to do? We signed a contract." And
Right.
then, so they just find these companies, which is far less than what they would pay if they had to literally do the work. Because Google is paying them billions of dollars just to be the default search engine. It's really a scam, but hey, I
That's
always.
crazy though. I mean, even in this situation, with this particular topic,
Mhm.
I do want to hit on some key points with it. If we, or whatnot with it, because there are some specifics in here that I feel like we haven't like really glanced over, because it's a huge topic. It definitely still has a lot to do with Big Meech's son is involved in this. So 50 Cent is, I'm reading this off of hot new hip hop. So 50 Cent is still gloating about the obstacles in Big Meech's way, which is why this GoFundMe shout out feels particularly disrespectful.
Mm.
Um, Even when he targets such as Big, you know what, this name, Big Meech aren't even responding anymore. 50 Cent will never give up his trolling ways. His latest attack against the former Black Mafia family boss came in the form of a GoFundMe page for his benefit that Fifth shared on Instagram. Help Big Screech pay his 30,000 a month Airbnb. That's one of P's cribs. Shout out to Quality Control. And then it also goes on to say the G Unit mogul captioned the post. A lot of people saw this as disrespectful to Meech and his circle, whereas others want 50 to keep his foot on the gas for their amusement. And of course, always some type of amusement for him and his fans. Um, and it's just, it's crazy.
And
Like, it's crazy. Lil Meech, a fiend now. That was from Shanae.
Oh yeah, but another thing that's crazy is
Hmm.
that nobody try to capitalize on his dysfunctional family. Uh,
Right. I mean, because there's a lot to say there. I mean,
that's a
honestly.
lot. Just like I mean, allegedly, you set your baby mama house on fire with your kids in there.
Diddy said something that is so important and to
What's that?
remember. Diddy once said, if you were ever a hit before, you are always going to be a threat. You can be a hit again.
Mm,
And that goes the same for anybody who's found success. If you found success once, you can do it again.
that's
And
true.
so Big Meech is just one opportunity away from getting back to right where he was.
Hmm.
50 Cent need to mind his ugly business.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And the thing about this too, it goes on to say, for those unaware, one possible reason as to why 50 posted this GoFundMe page concerns Big Meech's canceled homecoming concert.
Mm.
While the Queen's MC did not claim any responsibility over this, he still gloated about he still gloated about it all over social media, which with such a big opportunity down the drain, it's understandable that Meech would look for other income streams, but to suggest he went to a, a crowdfunding page to do so, um, all the which is all the active campaigns about this at press time are fake. By the way, is a low blow. It's really a big low blow, honestly. I totally agree with that. Um, it's just so unfortunate. Again, it's just so unfortunate. Just like what you guys had said before, 50 didn't even mind his own business. I mean,
Yeah, a grown man. This man pushing 60, doing the most. I don't know how old he is for real, but if I'm almost 50, he got to be pushing 60. That's my mind. I look at everybody about my age. I'm like, okay, I'm 45.
yeah, he's somewhere up there. He definitely is. I mean, you're too old to be this childish. You're too old to be this childish. Let it go. Just let it go. Let it
But
go.
you know,
Anybody else? Y'all want to say anything else before we move
I
on
just
from
want to say he pick and
this?
chooses battles because somebody tried to get him to talk about Tyler Perry and he refused
Mm, interesting.
because Tyler Perry helped him build his studio and he know. I mean, Tyler probably gave him money too,
I wouldn't be surprised.
so he probably like, all right, now
I
don't.
feel like he also gave Cat Williams some money to help him with his studio too.
Mm. Cat talked about Tyler, so I don't know.
Yeah, down that you do. You do make a good point on that one, though. You make a good
He's
point
like,
on that
oh no, my brother, you on your own.
one.
We can go to our next topic because it's very important.
So our next topic, what we got here? Uh,
We Americans are starting to resist the Trump administration across the country. Um, I know Chris and I have talked about a lot of this earlier, and I don't want to really say it in front of on a live show, but we did discuss some friends of mine and I about someone finally just said, "Well, somebody just do it already."
well,
Eh,
I want to bring this up too in this topic, because this is a pretty lengthy topic.
yeah.
Um, so this really comes about. This one is kind of like we're pushing back towards from last week. A lot of the resistance have started. I want to say within the last week or so. And here's just some of what has been going on. We're gonna just give you a little bit of insight on some of the protests, and then some of the town halls and things of that nature. So, but here's some footage from some of these protests, and we can definitely talk through them or whatnot as well. But you can see some of these across the country, right here that we're showing here. We got them, and these are pretty sudden, significant size protests as well too.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of these are pretty significant size. Um, Simpsons episode. I'm telling y'all.
It is sad, I've never been what's the word? I've never been so I gotta choose my words right. I have never not cared for a certain person, and in this case,
Hmm.
it's two people. I've never not cared where I really couldn't even find something good to say about the situation. Like, there's
Hmm.
no good in any of this. It's from one, it's and I wish we would have our own people. Y'all check out Jamal Bryant sermon, by the way.
Oh, well, that was wonderful.
I wish we'd have so many of us that share the same darker skin that they just make fools of themselves. And I'm like, how? like how can you be okay with looking stupid or being on the wrong side of history? How I don't know how to do that. And there's no amount of money that I could take to sell me myself out, nor my ancestors.
And you know what? And this even goes back to when this week, we even go to the start of this week when the TVs were hacked across some of the government offices. Well, now here it is.
Check it out.
Look at that.
It's just ridiculous.
Government offices was hacked by AI generated generated video of Trump and Elon, where Trump was licking and kissing Elon's feet. Um,
Well, Anonymous released Trump's social security number and
oh,
cell
really?
phone data. Yeah, they the government had to really get involved because his social security number and some other stuff was released. Text messages from his cell phone, and there's supposed to be another dump coming. I think this weekend or next week. There's supposed to be some more
Mm.
stuff. But when you mess with people, and I'm gonna let Jeremy pick up after this. When you bother people, when people are minding their business and you bother them, you affected their money, their social status, their right to exist. Then people going to push back. But let's hear from Jeremy.
I mean, we see it happening. I just think it's. I went to a friend's birthday dinner last night, and his mom is an attorney, and we
Hmm.
were having a lively discussion about where we are currently. And I told, I said very specifically, somebody lying, and this is what I want to. This is what I want to really
Yes,
reference because so many people voted for him. They are all around us. They have to be. It doesn't make any sense. They have to be all around us. And I said, you made that bed. I hope you die in it. Like that. That's what you stand 10 toes down in it. You made this bed, so why don't you lie in it and get comfortable? I just don't have the capacity and the bandwidth right now to engage in where we are currently. I know it's going to come back, the fight, but right now I feel like they can tear all of this apart. I don't. I mean, black women. There's this notion that all black women are just tired, and so are black queer
What's going
men.
on,
We're
Trey?
tired. I just cannot understand how so many people around us voted for somebody who is against the interests of just like basic humanity. So of course people are starting to fight back, but the time is come and gone. You should have been fighting and protesting when the shit was good. I don't have it in me no more.
should have been voting.
Right, exactly.
Do
And
what you
Stevie
will.
just said, and they are starting to have buyer's remorse for their vote. They made this mess. They got to clean it up. Black people sit back. We sit back, and we do that blackout on the 28th this Friday. Make their
But
pockets hurt.
because the truth of the matter is, a lot of people, and this is not everyone, but a lot of people are okay with discrimination as long as it doesn't impact them and the people that they love.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't want, when we talk about this often, a lot of people don't necessarily want equality. They want to be treated like the white patriarchy.
Hmm.
That's what they want.
That's it.
They don't want to be treated. They don't want everybody to be treated equally because that's not the narrative that they really want to push. They just want to be treated better than everyone else. And they think by aiding in the discrimination of other people that they're going to reach that goal.
And
Hmm.
I'm glad you
Exactly.
said that because the
I
class.
want Rashad, before you go, I wanted to play another one thing too.
Right.
We have another one from one of the towns. So now this is where it's starting to really take effect with some of the Republicans or whatnot. Stevie just said also that part 100, and they want to be able to benefit off of the plight off of Black people's work. It's time for them to do the work. I
Hmm.
agree. I definitely agree. But we're going to play another clip from one of these town halls. So now this is, like I said again, this is where it's affecting the Republicans, and now they're starting to speak out in some of these town halls. Here's one in particular. I believe it's from Roswell. I believe it's from Georgia.
And tyranny will rise. I believe you know the rest of his speech.
Something about give me liberty to... It's clear from all the writings of our founding fathers that our great republic was never meant to be ruled by a dictator nor a king.
You can't see it.
You only the women clapping.
I see the church.
You can imagine my shock and pure horror when I woke up to find that our president had given himself unprecedented executive powers, and then within a few days named himself king to his followers.
Only the white women clapping.
Where's the question? Tyranny. Do you have a question for the I do. Thank you. Tyranny is rising in the White House, and a man has declared himself our king. So I would like to know, rather, the people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
Not the president. And you are doing us a disservice to set that down and not stand up for us. And
So we're going to have a town hall, and I'm going to go and stand in front of you and take your questions and try to answer them as honestly as I can. Then let's do that, okay? But if you're going to just yell at me, that's not going to be an effective town hall.
Oh, girl.
I heard one person in there said, "Don't bend over."
Because they were talking about litigation. And here's the thing, and I tell people this is why black people are really just sitting this out. Because, but here's the thing also, there's a huge majority of our population who don't vote. And, there's a huge portion of our society that doesn't vote either for religious reasons, Jehovah's Witness. It's just like, I always tell people, the 5 to 10 million people who are Jehovah's Witness who are impacted. We're all impacted. You have loved ones who are, to be that disconnected from society is not of God. Even in the Bible, we're supposed to.
I agree with you, Trey.
Be a part of. So I want to say, Marjorie, why is she still around? But anyway, I feel like we are witnessing, outrage. I always tell people, I say I can always count on white fragility on all sides, no matter which side, because it's all the same. Whenever they feel like their rights are taken away or they no longer have a voice, that's when the uprising occur. And I'm actually, I've been waiting to see this because we have lost our way as a nation. We never really had it, but we definitely was on track. But then people got sidelined. Trump came and this is what I really truly believe. Humanized the office of the presidency. And what I mean by that, made it so low, the bar dropped so low that anybody can do it. And so there's a lot of people in our rural areas in our middle America who was like, he sounds like me. He sounds like my uncle. I'm uneducated. I'm stupid. I know nothing about this country and how international affairs occur. I know nothing about policy. He's like me. He's going to come in and shake it up. He's doing that, but not in a good way.
Right. That is true. That is very true. And it's funny because we have another. I want to play one more clip as well. That was in another town hall Here's one more other clip right here.
To them and say that is enough.
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
Absolutely no proof. And here's Representative.
It's funny to see them actually stand up against their party for once. I'm shocked. I've been waiting for this moment.
But
I
you
never
mess
thought
with
it would
people.
happen.
But we've been waiting on white women anyway. We
Yeah.
don't. I tell everybody that's the segment of our population that's complacent. That's the segment of our population who are they're the greatest affected too. Because like this DEI, that's them. They didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
They the one that benefited from DEI. White women, and now they looking crazy.
Travis said, I just wish they could find some way, somehow, to impeach this man and stop this madness because it's ungodly and it's disrespectful to the nation that he claims to represent. That is true.
My sister, Jasmine Crockett, said this is the find out phase. In other words,
Right.
F around and find out. They're finding out, these states that, poor states was just in the South, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Georgia not one of them, thanks to the city of Atlanta and the military. But, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee is not a poor state either. But, these states, they're finding out that Trump is, if he stop, because he's trying to also stop giving money to Democrat states.
Yeah.
So and they have the power. Maine, the governor of Maine said, "Well, I'll just stop. We just not going to pay our federal taxes," which that is a part of the agreement between each state and the federal government. We will pay taxes in exchange for these services. If you cut my services, I can cut off federal tax dollars out of people's paycheck. That's why I said we're about to really find out how this union, this republic, is actually run. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not really what people think. We just vote on people. These are agreements. We be like, oh, I ain't gotta do this. And see these states that benefit Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. These states that benefit from these rich states like New York, California, that receive the least amount of federal assistance. All their tax dollars, all the urban people support the entire country, but we don't want to have those real conversations, honest conversations, or educate our people. That's really
Exactly.
Well, well, you got to remember, I don't have any empathy or remorse for any of these people because guess what? They would be completely okay with it if it did not impact them.
Hmm.
So they are definitely in that find out phase. But I remind myself that I can't let them be remorseful because this is a spiritual journey that they're going through. They're
Exactly.
going through this journey where they're figuring it out.
oh,
Ooh, they're going
Oh,
through this journey where they're figuring out everything we already knew.
yep.
So no matter how many times we've told them, they have to experience it, and they are experiencing it. And let the cars fall where they may. Amen.
and that is very true. That's very true. And like I said, here's I'm gonna do one last one because this one is actually pretty quick. So check this one out too.
President Trump has issued a lot of executive orders. I think by and large this is moving very quickly compared to other administrations, and I think across the board he's done some very good things. I think he's gotten rid of birthright citizenship.
Illegal as hell.
Now watch what happens.
To hear white people actually complain about that, which I thought, birthright citizenship. For those who don't know, Trump think he could just change the Constitution.
Right.
If I'm born on this land in any of our territories, states, whatever, I'm a citizen. You can't just change it by the swipe of a pen. It has to be. And I don't know. I'm with. When are they going to impeach him? I'm like everybody else. It's like one of those things. Just impeach him for the fourth time.
You know what's going to happen is see, the reason that these town halls came about was because these Republican Congress people thought they was going to go home and thought they was going to be cheered on by their constituents and everything like that. But what they fail to realize, a lot of the stuff that they're passing is very unpopular. So what's going to happen is, I feel like if the heat is turned up onto these Republicans by their constituents, the Republicans are going to have no choice but to impeach him, because they don't want to get fired come the time midterms roll around. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose being, being in Congress, because everything that he's doing is very unpopular. Even though Elon Musk is saying that if you don't do what Trump is asking, I will go ahead and what's the word he's been throwing around a lot lately? That he will what is the word I'm looking for, Lord? Um, that he would primary them. So, even though that's happening, I think the constituents are going to be more important than being primary at this point. So, my thing is they need to listen to their constituents. It's very unpopular what they're doing, trying to gut Medicaid, trying to. You heard what they're trying to do with the food stamps. Um, just it's just crazy all around.
Well, you know, they've doubled the tax cut that they did last time from from
Exactly
two
right.
to four.
Right.
Nancy Pelosi just released that information. They are putting through these things that they have to pay for in some way.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they got to get the money, and they're bleeding it from all over the place. But they're not even hitting the places where they should. I watched Jasmine Crockett break down something very interesting. She said from the audits throughout the years, most of the fraud and abuse is found in our biggest expenditure, which is our defense.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the fraud and abuse is. That's where the government contracts is. That's why Elon Musk just got a $400 million, you know, contract with the defense. Look at the departments that they're going to. So if you
Right.
really want to define fraud and abuse, why wouldn't you check into the place we spend the absolute most money, and the place where when they are audited, they are found to have the most fraud and abuse? You're starting with the IRS. You're starting with like the defense. You're starting with the people who keep us safe from from nuclear disaster. Like, you're starting at these arbitrary, random, insignificant places that aren't going to impact the thing you're trying to do very much at all. Start with the defense, but you can't do that because then they have the most dangerous people coming after them.
Then there's like a lot of, and I wish people like to read. I wish people really like to read and not just watch videos, because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of things that our journalists have said over the past 30 years that the
Stevie just said also to impeachment. I don't think is going to happen. They have to have a unanimous vote. Remember, Rep. Al Green introduced an article of impeachment. He was the brave one to do it, but the rest of them didn't. Didn't do it. Definitely blame Mitch McConnell and Merrick Garland. They should have been went on ahead and impeached, and we would not be in the position. But they bent the knee. Of course.
And that's what I was getting into. There's a lot of information, and I always tell people information. We don't know what's true, but I accept all information, and then I use my spirit of discernment to decide what is, or to determine what is factual, what is a little embellishment. But we've talked about this week. There's a story, about the Trump family. And Trump being recruited allegedly by the KGB. KGB is a part of the Soviet spy,
Yes, I'm glad you're bringing that up, Rashad.
but that's not the only person. So there's other people. Like, the reason why Mitch McConnell is brought up a lot is because he protected Trump like crazy. They saying that he
Hmm.
was also recruited, and other people. We voted for some people who were on all sides, Democrat and Republican, independents, who are
Hmm.
foreign assets. That's why I tell people I don't vote based on my party affiliation. I vote based on, I have to watch how you vote. I have to watch how you move, because
Right.
everybody ain't in alignment with us, and there's so many people who are self-serving in our governments, local, and I'm telling y'all, local. I mean, from when I say local too, I'm talking about your sheriffs, your people who run for aldermen, your people who run for local offices, including school board. A lot of these people are foreign assets who are actually trying to make sure we stay stupid, because America is not the smartest country. That's why we recruit everybody from brown countries to do our technology. Because if you look at it, the people who are behind our technology they don't look like the Europeans. They look like the people from India, the people from parts of Africa. Those are those people because they are allowed to think. They're allowed to expand. They're allowed to actually learn. We don't learn anything in America. No, he been frozen. I think that was just a game.
That was that demon that he owed his soul to. That demon was sitting in the corner,
Yeah.
and when he seen it and he know the time is almost up, baby. That demon was like this.
But I know we've been on this subject a lot, and in the I guess in the being it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and I want to. We're gonna push our other topic to next week,
Okay, good. Okay.
and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do our encouragement moment for this evening, and it's a really good one. So we're gonna go into my encouragement moment. I didn't put no graphic to it yet, so look, we just gonna throw ourselves right on into it. So my encouragement moment tonight is one that was this past weekend with Kamala Harris. I love what she said. It was very touching. So I want to go ahead and throw that off, and hopefully everyone takes what I took from it. And here it is right here.
NAACP founder W.E.B. Du Bois, when he said, "It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year." And this sense of urgency is what we must have today, knowing, as the saying goes, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. The price of liberty. To stay alert, to seek the truth, and to actively participate in the fight for America's future. This organization came into being at a moment when our country struggled with greed, bitterness, and hatred. And those who forged the NAACP, those who carried its legacy forward, had no illusions about the forces they were up against. No illusions about how stony the road would be. But some look at this moment and rightly feel the weight of history. Some see the flames on our horizons, the rising waters in our cities, the shadows gathering over our democracy, and ask, what do we do now? But we know exactly what to do, because we have done it before, and we will do it again. We use our power, we organize, mobilize, we educate, and we advocate. Because you see, our power has never come from having an easy path. Our strength flows from our faith. Faith in God, faith in each other, and our refusal to surrender to cynicism and destruction. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Not because victory is guaranteed, but because the fight is worth it. And while we have no illusions about what we are up against in this chapter in our American story, this chapter will be written not simply by whoever occupies the
Can
Oval
y'all hear me?
Office,
Yes.
nor by the
Can't
wealthiest
nobody else
among
hear me, right?
us.
No,
The
everybody can hear
American
you.
story
What'd you say?
will be written by
Everyone can
you,
hear you.
Everybody
The
can hear
whole
you.
written
show?
by us,
Yeah.
by we the
I never knew
people.
that.
I thank you. God bless you, and God bless the
I
United
just
States
got a
of
message
America.
from one of my staff
Oh,
just passed out, and EMT is here.
go ahead. Take care of that.
Yes, go
Take care of
ahead.
that. Keep us posted on that. We're done though.
EMT is there, but y'all have a good rest of the show.
Are you too, man? Keep us posted. Prayers to your staff.
Yes, yes, yes. But I just wanted to say on that moment, she said a lot that I took in, especially when it came down to mobilizing and making sure that we stand the test of time from our ancestors. Our ancestors fought in a moment similar to this, not as crazy as as that time was, uh, but as perilous as that or whatnot. And the thing about it is, um, we have to get out of this moment of being comfortable because it's going to get much more uncomfortable as time goes on, and we have to realize that we're not in a normal time anymore. The normalcy has left. We had 4 years of normalcy that we didn't appreciate at all for
Sure.
whatever reason. So my thing is, at this point, our comfortability is over. Now it's time for us, like Kamala said, it's time for us to mobilize, strategize, get out and fight. Because if we don't fight, it's all going to be over. Because at this point, Trump had 4 years to strategize, come up with a plan, and here it is right here. They have a 900-page a 900-page document that they're using as their playbook, just like what Tim Walz said. You do not create a playbook and don't use it. They're constantly using this playbook day by day by day. And we have to figure out what is going to be our playbook. I like what somebody has said. They said, we have to come out with Project 2026. That should be our playbook. We should be strategizing and putting together our own playbook at this point. And if we don't do so, we're going to lose the game. The game is going to be lost. So we have this moment in time to come together. And that's why I'm loving all these protests that are happening. That's why I'm loving all these town halls. The Republicans are now starting to speak up and starting to say something. I'm really happy about that right now because this is the time where we have to have our voices heard.
I agree with you 100%.
Mhm.
I don't have much. I don't even have much to add to it. I do
She
want
said
to.
a lot. She said everything for us
I
pretty
do
much.
want to say, you know, it's early, but I do think that for at least one segment of the population, two segments, I'm gonna say women and the deeply rooted Pan African people.
Mhm.
She got our vote for the for president. And reason why I say right now she is the uh, leading is because she has this is what happened in America, and I people have said this before, but I want to. This is how Trump came about is white fragility.
Yep.
Out of Obama, the first black people, no one ever thought it would happen, and then they definitely didn't think he would do 2 terms, but he did
Right.
2 terms and beat out. And that's why I say it's divine. It was divine, but we didn't appreciate him. We
No.
didn't appreciate the legacy of where we were going. For one, we were scared, uh, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, as a society, y'all scared of women. I don't know, and this is a worldwide thing. What is it about women? And the thing is, we haven't. There have been a lot of women rulers who have ruled nations and ruled lands and done well.
Hmm.
Respected. Like I always tell people, the Caesar folk couldn't even understand life without Cleopatra.
Right. Right.
Like they couldn't even really get it because they were so enamored by her beauty, her poise, her power.
Her brains.
and her brain. She was very brilliant.
Mhm.
And all men know is conquer. And I tell people all the time, black women have never done me wrong in life. And this, what I mean by that, people who needed to lift me up, I have been blessed by black women. I would never say anything. That's why I go hard for black women everywhere. I was
Mhm.
like, and I'm not saying that black men have um, led me astray or done me wrong. It's just that I have been in Atlanta. I have been my bosses. Most of them have been black women, and let me
Yep.
tell
Mine
you,
too.
I shout out to Gloria Matthews. The reason why I never say anything bad about Kroger, they get on my nerves sometimes, but that woman took this 18-year-old fresh out of and lifted me up. And had and I'll tell you, I kid y'all not, I was on a path to possibly be the CEO of the Atlanta market. I didn't know the plan because nobody talked to me. It was when
Mhm.
I decided to retire, where everybody, oh, well, you messed up. But the thing is, as hindsight, I still appreciate the thought, the ability to do what I did and grow. And that's one of the reasons why I tell people I can run. If y'all want me to run a company for you, I can run a company. But it's the insight, and she's also a Morris Brown Bubbling Brown, former Morris Brown Bubbling Brown Sugar AME, y'all. I had to shout him out.
Hey, that's what I'm
It's-
talking about. I can definitely say a few of my black employers as well. I
Mm,
had some wonderful black employers, and I can definitely say the same and attest to them as well. One of the last ones that I had before I went full time with my company was her name was Tara. And she was an amazing boss when I used to work for United Healthcare, and I can definitely attest to her. Truly one of the greats. And if the United Healthcare lost her, they would have lost a very good one. Yeah,
mm.
so she definitely deserves all the accolades that she does get at United Healthcare as well. So definitely shout you out, Tara Hudson. That's what it was, Tara Hudson.
Also, shout out to Sophia Kimbrough. Shout out to Valerie Hunter. And also shout out to a man who has a vision. He's with Emory, Dr. Carlos Del Rio, who, worked with Dr. Fauci during the pandemic. He's
That's
been on
true,
the
Rachel.
forefront for a lot of things. I think all of these people of color who saw, respected my existence and my knowledge and my skill set and build me up. But the best is yet to come.
The best is yet.
All the other people, Emory, y'all can.
Yes, the best is yet to come. And I wanna go in to our announcement so we can close out. We want to make sure that we shout you out, Rachàd, for everybody to go out this tomorrow night and and join in a little bit of fun and some karaoke.
Karaoke, as
Um,
I like to say.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely come out. It's at Mix, which is located in Midtown. Each and every Wednesday, actually, we have karaoke from 9:30 to 3 a.m. It's a long night, but it's fun. You never know who might show up, too. It's a lot of people,
that's true.
celebrities come through, a lot of people who've been on television, on different singing platforms. But shout out to Troy doing this thing. Y'all check out his music coming up soon. Be myself, Lulu, and also my brother Lamar Sinclair, and of course the infamous DJ Rick. So we have, we're kicking off Mardi Gras. It's that time, y'all. Y'all be
Yes,
safe. For those of y'all traveling also this weekend, y'all be safe. Let's keep in mind, not everybody want us to be celebrating. Not everybody want us to be. I'm just gonna say it like that. Not everyone want us to just be. So
that's true. That's true. Well, I can attest to Wednesday nights at Mix. I've been a few times myself, and I can definitely say every time that I've gone, I've always had an amazing time. And Rachàd is right. You never know who's going to show up because it's always that type of atmosphere. Any and everyone shows up to Mix on Wednesday. So if you're not doing anything and you're here in Atlanta, definitely make sure you get out and stop in through Mix, and make sure y'all hit up Rachàd as well. He make you feel right at home like he always does with when I come through. So
yeah.
um, yeah, definitely make sure y'all come out on Wednesday nights to karaoke night with Rachàd and DJ Rick and with the rest of the squad.
Yes, sir.
Y'all will not be disappointed.
Yes, sir.
Definitely,
Oh, don't
definitely,
look for me before 11. I mean, I got that's a long night. That's a whole shift. But definitely be in the building.
definitely, definitely. Well, this has been another amazing show. Again, that last topic, we're gonna save that last topic for next week, next Tuesday. And that topic has to do with those offers with the police force being demolished in Alabama. So we will be talking more about that next week. But until next Tuesday, remember, if it's Tuesday, it's Extraordinary Unplugged.
All right.
Um, so I'm Christopher S. Walker.
I'm Rachàd West. Y'all like and subscribe the Extraordinary Network on YouTube. Make sure you
Yes,
also share. But until next time, y'all take care of yourselves. Stay connected to our Creator and stay connected to each other in love.
amen to that, and I can attest to that. And make sure you all be safe, be blessed, and have a very extraordinary night. And God bless to all of you.